Jill Duggar of 19 kids and counting fame likens herself to be somewhat of a hippie until it comes to politics. The granola Duggar is back to liking transphobic posts online 7 years after husband Derek Dillard was fired for his public comments against I Am Jazz star Jazz Jennings. Get a refresher on their initial controversy and see the post Jill recently liked below. The Duggars from 19 kids and counting on are known for their fundamentalist Christian beliefs, including following a patriarchal system and hierarchy. The family has strongly spoken out against several aspects of the LGBTQI, including starting feuds with their transgender colleagues. In 2014, Jill Duggar's husband Derek Dillard got in a Twitter war with I Am Jazz star Jazz Jennings. Jennings identifies as a transgender woman and, like Dillard, was featured on a TLC reality show documenting their life. In the comment section of a promo for Jazz's show, Derek took a swing at the trans community. What an oxymoron of reality show which follows a non-reality. Transgender is a myth. Gender is not fluid, it's ordained by God. Jazz Jennings, who was just 16 at the time, clapped back at the fundy for his transphobic views. Every day I experience cyberbullying, but I keep sharing my story. Today was no different. After the back and forth stirred up controversy amongst fans, TLC decided to part ways with the Dillards, signaling the beginning of the end of counting on in the process. Don't let Duggar's ethnocentric headbands and beaded jewelry fool you. Jill is definitely not a liberal. She and Derek actually dressed up in MAGA-themed costumes just this year for Halloween, also making it very obvious who she voted for. The Counting On star often likes social media posts by Fox News, including this one about separating locker rooms by assigned gender at birth. In the post above, conservative commentator Riley Gaines questions the purpose of women's locker rooms if men can just wander in and strip naked. Even though Jill has fully distanced herself from her parents, the reality star's feelings on LGBTQI+ is likely a learned belief passed down from mother Michelle Duggar, whose infamous anti-trans robocall was heard across Arkansas in 2014. Jill Duggar is one of the more adventurous siblings of the bunch. She could contend for most rebellious with Jinger Duggar. The former Counting On star and her husband, Derek Dillard, left the reality TV spotlight in 2017 when everyone else stayed. Her book, Counting the Cost, told her version of events, which didn't paint her father, Jim Bob Duggar, in the best light. It was more of a tell-all and vastly different from Jinger's book, which only called out Bill Gothard and his teachings. Jill had her nose pierced, which was a huge deal. That was long before Jinger wore pants and shorts, so she was dubbed the Rebel Duggar. Jill has been experimenting with AI and has shared a few images with her followers. Jill Duggar has been trying a few things with AI as the holidays approach. She took to her Instagram stories to share a few images and asked followers if they had tried the AI features on the gram yet. She chose a wintry image of herself in a snow globe with coffee, one of her favorite things. The other image featured Jill Duggar decked out in tattoos, including sleeves. It was a bit much with the neck tattoos for a Duggar daughter, but the ink didn't look terrible. If Jill should choose to get a tattoo, it would suit her well. However, it's unlikely that she would do something so permanent to her body. This will be the first holiday season since the couple lost their daughter, Isla Marie Dillard. She was stillborn in April, but wasn't due until August. Jill Duggar and Derek Dillard shared their grief with their followers as they documented their journey. Isla was given a funeral and buried, with many of the Duggar family members, including Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar, in attendance. Derek's family was also there to support the couple. It's unclear whether the couple will try for another baby or if they've decided to stop at 3. Losing Isla took a toll on Jill, one that she bravely shared with her followers despite some backlash. With Christmas on the way, it will be interesting to see if Jill and Derek attend the celebration at the big house this year, as they did last year. They have been to both weddings this year and appear to be working toward a reconciliation. Counting On alum Anna Duggar stepped away from social media since the CSAM arrest of her husband, Josh, in April 2021. Due to this, many people got curious about how she's been managing her 7 kids. Anna recently made headlines after she was spotted in public. But her latest appearance broke the hearts of many. An expert also claims that she's protecting herself following her latest photo. Keep reading to see why. Despite her online absence, Anna occasionally appears on social media, running into people who recognize her. The Counting on Alum often spends time with some of her friends and attending events. She has also worn pants regularly, seemingly indicating that she's no longer following the strict dress codes of the Duggar family. She also attended her grandfather's funeral earlier this year, in which photos of her kids surfaced years after their father's arrest. Anna is still living in a windowless warehouse unit, and it seems her husband's imprisonment is starting to take a toll on her mental state. A body language expert named Patty, the author of Snap, Making the Most of First Impressions, Body Language, and Charisma, recently shared her thoughts about the new photos of Anna Duggar. According to Patty, the Counting on Alum is transforming herself through her clothing choices as her way to protect herself. The body language expert added that Anna doesn't want to be judged or evaluated. This comes after Anna was spotted wearing a brown sweater paired with pants. Patty said that Anna was carrying a lot of tension around her jaws and hands. She added that her shoulders are hunched over like a turtle trying to protect itself. Aside Patty's comments, many fans have also noticed that Anna gained some weight, which could also be a sign of depression. Aside from her public sightings, Anna Duggar also made headlines earlier this year after some Redditors discovered that she had launched a new business. According to the poster, the Counting on Alum now runs a dog breeding company called Golden Grove Pups, LLC in Arkansas. Members of the Duggar family remain discreet about the business, but Anna faced backlash for it, adding that it should be the last thing she'd do. Jinger Duggar and Jeremy Voilo's daughter suffered a major health scare. It led to an emergency room visit. Now, the Voilos share, she's doing much better. But as a pregnant Jinger details what went wrong, this could have been much worse. Their preschool-aged child was struggling to breathe, and they're not entirely sure why. During the latest episode of the Jinger and Jeremy podcast, the titular Jinger Duggar and Jeremy Voilo discussed various topics, including birthdays. However, the hook for the episode, the teaser with which they began, it was all about their 4-year-old daughter, Evangeline. This all went down during a trip to Texas, where they had a little issue with one of our kids. Evangeline ended up in the ER, and it was a little bit of a scare. Jinger acknowledged. She summarized. Those things happen, and you have to take the curveballs as they come. Thankfully, she was okay. She just had a little episode of something where a doctor even thought maybe she had inhaled something and aspirated a piece of food, and it might have been lodged in there, Jinger explained. By the time she got a steroid and all, she was breathing well again. I heard her cough. It's 10:30 at night, Jeremy detailed. It's almost like a croup cough. I run into her room, and she is kind of hunched over and struggling to breathe, and the cough was, difficult to come in and breathe out. In an uncharacteristically relatable moment, he continued. So, I grab her and run out to go to the hospital. That was just a really scary feeling, just having her breathing not being well, Jinger chimed in. I think with that we weren't sure if it was asthma, and if it was something like that because you had asthma as a kid. Fortunately, Jeremy noted, as doctors began to run tests, she was okay, she was stable. She wasn't turning blue. That's the thing I was looking for. He continued, and the thing that's scary about asthma is your breathing starts to get constricted, so it becomes less and less, and that can happen quickly. Jeremy expressed, I think that the thing that really caught us off guard was that she was not sick at all before. She had the best day, no signs of cold, no signs of anything that would have led you to think, oh, she's sick. They just gave her a steroid and said if it was croup, maybe it would help. Whatever they gave her, it helped her so much, and we still don't know exactly what it was, Jinger shared. Of course, the two plan to get tests to rule out things like asthma and allergies. They don't want this to happen again, especially on some night when they might not be up to hear Evangeline cough. We're all grateful to hear that Jinger and Jeremy's 4-year-old daughter is doing better. We hope that this scary incident never repeats itself.